Welcome, everyone. Thank you for attending today's presentation about AI enrichment with Azure Cognitive Search. So I will just click here. Let me.
Don't hear you, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't hear you. Try now.
I just want to click on the slides. Yes. Okay. Yes. Perfect. So today we're going to talk about one Azure service that allows you to index information from unstructured data, such as PDF files, images, documents, and others. So, Ken, thank you for attending this presentation. My name is Luis Beltran. I am a Microsoft MVP in AI and developer technologies. I am from Mexico, but currently I am living in Czech Republic. I am doing research, pursuing my PhD in artificial intelligence at Thomas Bata University in Slim. And well, I have been very lucky to travel to Poland several times, both for conferences and also for visiting great towns. But today it's virtual, so yeah, it's really cool. Thank you for having me. I'm also lecturer at Tecnológico Nacional de México in Celaya. And I'm also teaching here at the university in Czech Republic. I'm very passionate about mobile application development with Xamarin, about cloud computing with Azure, and artificial intelligence. So feel free to reach out, send me an email, follow me on Twitter. I will follow you back. If you would like to talk about these topics, or if you have some questions later when we after the presentation. So yeah, enough about me. This is our agenda. We're going to talk about why Azure Cognitive Search, what's the benefits that it brings. Then we will focus on the AI enrichment part. We will describe the service, the steps that we need, and then we will do a small demo, which involves working with the portal and then showing a web application that uses the index and all the search that we have created. And finally, I will share some links that hopefully will be useful for you. All right, so this is our first part. A company's real value is often found in documents, such as invoices, emails, receipts, presentations, websites. Yeah, there are a lot of documents, but they share something in common. They are unstructured data, and they can really tell the story of what is currently happening with this company. So we usually search for information using well-known data sources, such as databases. Yeah, we usually create an application, connect to the database through an API or direct connection. But what happens with these documents? We cannot directly search. We cannot use SQL language to search inside a PDF, for instance. So yeah, what could we do with these images, with the PDF files, if we want to find for a specific term? Maybe even in the image, there is a lot of text, there is a lot of information, right? And sometimes there might be some requirements from companies. So yeah, the answer for this, let's say, requirement is Azure Cognitive Search. It's a cloud search service, actually, with integrated AI capabilities. This built-in features and functionality really enriches all types of information. So it can be easier to identify, to explore relevant content, reducing the complexity, and enable features such as autocomplete in our application, maybe some search related with geospatial location, even capabilities as recognizing a person inside a picture. Maybe you have photos of meetings, previous meetings, and you would like to create an application that tells us, okay, who was in the meeting, right? So it is possible to train a face service that recognizes people, specific people with the name, right? And later incorporate this in search applications. So we can, as you will see, we can incorporate AI capabilities from the cognitive services, such as speech, face, vision, language services. Yeah, to explore pictures, to explore documents, right? And so we will index, we will convert whatever is inside this document into searchable content, which will match business-specific needs, for instance, and maybe even some requirements. So just give me a second. So now, and AI enrichment is then the capability of Azure Cognitive Search for indexing. And we can use this one to extract text from unstructured data sources. Enrichment and data extraction make your content more searchable in an index. And they are implemented using cognitive skills attached to an indexing pipeline. We are going to build this. And the cognitive skills could be natural language or image processing. And one of the advantages of Azure Cognitive Search is that you are not attached to only cognitive services from Azure. You can bring your own skills, you can bring your own code, right? So yeah, you can definitely improve or customize your AI needs. So applying artificial intelligence through these cognitive skills can unlock this unstructured content, increasing the value of a document, the utility that we might get when we search for information. We can even create data science applications. In addition, you can bring your own code, your own skills and integrate them in the pipeline. For instance, a classification model that identifies relevant characteristics of these text of documents, of PDF files, right? So yeah, you can really take more advantage of your content. So at the high level, you can see here the key elements of the enrichment pipeline. We have data ingestion, data enrichment using these cognitive skills, and data exploration. These are the 3 steps that we will describe in the next slides. Okay. So, but for that, each step will be described in this architecture that you can see. So there will be a process known as document cracking as part of the ingest phase. Then we will use the cognitive service or skill sets to associate images, locations, sentiment analysis, text, and other activities, other features, other important tasks from our data. We will discuss each part, but yeah, these are the elements, and of course at the end we will be able to explore, to search, to look for information. So these are the steps in the enrichment pipeline. The pipeline is based on indexers, which populate index or indexes based on field-to-field mappings between the index and the data. And this is the part that we know at the beginning as document cracking. So the skills are attached to indexers and are the ones who are responsible for enriching the documents according to the skill sets that we define in step 2. Once that you index everything, you will be able to access content by using a search, sending some requests through queries, right? Remember something that I mentioned at the beginning. How can I create something like an SQL query to search for information inside a PDF? Well, while we will not be able to use SQL query, we will be able to use something similar, some queries and we will be capable of bringing, for instance, which of the reviews are positive, or what do people in general think about my service. Okay, of course, information will be provided at the beginning to build this pipeline. So let's explore the first step. At the beginning, we have unstructured information. We have PDF files, we have images, we have text documents. So we need to bring these data sources of information to Azure. The easiest way is to upload it to a storage account, to a blob storage inside a container. So we can upload our information there, And as you will see in the demo, it will be possible to connect our search service to this container from from storage account. So there will be whatever we want: images, PDF files, documents. So, but storage account is not the only cloud source where we can place our information. You will see some options later. Then the indexer will access these files, this content, and there will be an operation known as document cracking. Basically, this task will detect the text, will extract the text, or create it, because it will be also possible to generate some metadata, such as the file creation, what date, when it was modified, who is the author of the document, and some other relevant information. Then we will create some some text. This takes time. So actually, it is a good idea to start simple, to start with a few files, and later include more information, right? So yeah, it's better to see if the indexer fits our needs, or if we need to, for instance, improve, add more fields, or add more skill sets, more cognitive skills. So again, it is recommended to start simple with few files, but of course, files that really represent our needs, or what it will be later generated, right? So we can maybe bring 10 PDF files which are representative or sample representative, right? Maybe some pictures. We take 5. Later we will increase to 100 or 1,000, right? But we start with few or a small data set, okay? Now, some properties about the data. Here you can see what extensions, what file types are supported that we can include in our blob storage, for instance. Also, we can bring information from Azure Table Storage, Cosmos DB, Azure MySQL for Azure, right? Azure Files. And regarding the file formats, well, you can see the most well-known, like PDF files, document, PPT, PowerPoint, but we can also bring some other supported types, such as rich text format, JSON content, even websites, static content, actually, HTML, right? We can even bring that as part of our data source. And in this document cracking, yes, we will obtain the text, right? We will obtain some metadata. We will obtain some basic images, right? That there is an image here, but not yet. We will not yet know what is inside the image. Then we move to step 2. In step 2, we create the skill sets. The skill sets are based on cognitive skills that are integrated I mean from Azure, or you can bring your own custom skills and connect them to the skill set. It can be minimal, or it can include a lot of services you will see in the next slide. It determines not only the type of processing, but also in which order the operations will be processed. For instance, we will have some fields. So the skill set does the field mappings, such as, okay, detect some location, detect the language, detect the topics, right, by applying some language analysis or text analysis. So the skill set plus the fields define the indexer and the enrichment pipeline. Okay. Internally, this pipeline generates a collection of enriched documents. You can decide which parts of the enriched documents should be mapped into indexable fields or searchable fields in your index. For example, if you apply key phrase extraction and entity recognition skills, you will have these fields later, or they will be part of the enriched documents. So we will know, for instance, if in the PDF file some company is mentioned, or what is this document about, right? And later we will be able to search for that information. Maybe we bring some documents from the competitors, right? And we would like to know if our company is mentioned there, right? So yeah, this is possible. What cognitive skills, right, can you bring or will be used? Here you see both built-in and custom skills. Regarding the skills, there might be two types. Natural language processing, which include entity recognition, language detection, key phrase extraction, text manipulation, sentiment analysis. Basically, unstructured text is mapped as searchable and filterable fields in the index. Then the second type is image processing skills, which includes OCR, optical character recognition in images, of course. Also, identification of some visual features such as facial detection, image interpretation, text, image description, right? Like what is inside this picture. It can also identify famous people or some landmarks, like maybe a river or some statue or city, yes. Or even some attributes, some metadata, such as image orientation. So these skills represent, or sorry, these skills create text, right, that represent the image content. And later you will be able to search for that information in Azure Cognitive Search. Both skills, both types of skills are applied during the data ingestion phase. And the results become part of the document's composition in the searchable index. And well, yeah, as we were mentioning, custom skills can support complex, even complex scenarios, such as custom entity detection using a model that you provide. You can bring your own maybe machine learning model that analyzes some text or some pictures, some images, right? You can even use form recognizer, which is one latest addition of the cognitive services, right? Or even integrate some APIs. So next slide. So here you can see an example of cognitive skills that you can add into the pipeline. And this scenario could be some documents that you scan and you create the image. Okay, so the scan brings a picture, an image, and you want to analyze the content of this image, okay, of this document, but as an image. So you can get the full text, right? You can attach even an OCR capability to identify, extract, and ingest text from PNG files, for instance. Another example, you can also bring PDF documents, but maybe they include pictures, they include images and text. So the text can be extracted during the first step, the indexing step, but analyzing the image and converting image into text, or getting some metadata, or performing natural language processing will produce improved outcomes. Okay, and we will do this in this second step. And finally, we have the search index and query-based access phase. This is the final step. When the processing is finished, this task takes some time, you will have a search index which consists of enriched documents and also fully text searchable information that you can, let's say, look for in Azure portal, or you can use a REST API, or even an SDK. Actually, also for step 1 and step 2, you can do it you can do it by using whatever you want. You can do it in the portal, you can do it in by using the SDK, you can do it by calling the REST API, you can use C#, Python, Node.js, some other languages. So yeah, as a result, in step 3, developers or end users will access the enriched content that was generated by the pipeline. And the index is like any other that you might create for a database. It means that the index is connected to some data, right? So you can create this search index as part maybe of some bigger process. And what you can do with this search that you created, you can perform fuzzy search, for instance, filter search, scoring profiles. You can improve this. Okay. So this is just some explanation. The indexes are generated from the index schema that defines fields, attributes, and other information that is attached to the specific index. Synonym maps. Once the index is defined and populated, you can include more files, right? So as we were saying, start with something simple in order to detect the structure. You can include more files, right? And it will be possible to include that in your results. So you don't need to fully rebuild everything. So yeah, that's it for the theory. Let's go to the demo. So we are going to combine some services, some data in Azure Cloud to create the skill set. The end result is a searchable index populated with data created by an artificial intelligence process, and we will be able to query this into a web application. I will start by loading the portal. So portal.azure.com. I will create first the storage account. So let's go to subscriptions. Okay, and select one. Resource groups. And we will create one. So let's call this one SQLDay 2021. Location is North Europe. All right. So let's create it. Click here. And yeah, it's very fast. Now, so we will start with the storage account. So create resource. We go to storage account, which is right here. I will probably increase the size. So I choose this description, the resource group. Let's create a storage account name. Let's say SQLDay 2021 account. Region, also North Europe. Performance standard is fine. We don't need redundancy, so I will choose LRS. And the rest is fine. So click on create, validating. Let's create this. While it is creating this, let's add the second element, which is cognitive services. So add another resource. Cognitive services. Create this. So we have the resource group, that's fine. The region, North Europe, this. Then we have the name. Sorry. SQLDay 2021, cognitive. Pricing tier, standard. I accept the terms, review and create. Computer as well, because battery. Okay, great. Okay, yeah. And while it is creating, I will go to my resource group for the third resource, which is the cognitive search resource. So let's search for search, Azure Cognitive Search. Let's create it. Okay, service name, SQLDay. The other names. Okay, SQLDay 2021 search. Location, also the same one, North Europe. And the pricing tier, well, here you can see it is possible to create free, basic, several versions of standards. The difference is the number of indexes that you are able to create per tier or an indexers, and also the storage that you can use. In this case, I will use the basic one. Also the price, of course. The price was in Mexican pesos, so yeah, divided by 20 and you will get the price in euros, more or less. So for instance, this one is about, the basic is $70. Sorry, yeah, $70 or a bit more in euros. Okay, so I choose this, yeah, nothing else. Okay, click great, and shouldn't be any issue. Okay, so now I will visit my storage account. I need to bring some information while it is creating this. Okay. Yeah, it has finished. So I will go to my account. And while it is loading, I will open folder. I have something here. I have my code here, so just in a second. So I will upload some information. I have this command, upload documents. What is the size of this? Using a font. Experience. Okay, so I think. So, subscription ID. Bring it. ID, it's here. Storage account. Name, it's this one. And the key. You can get that information. In access keys. It is. So show keys, copy. That's it. So it will copy all, or it will upload to blob storage these reviews, these PDF files. Okay, these are PDFs which contain some opinions from people, and also, well, we have these brochures with information from some hotels. Okay, so let's open a terminal. I will start session is the login. Wait a few seconds. Okay, yeah, it was not recognized. Okay, whatever. So I will upload this directly into my account. So go to containers. And I will create container here. Okay, the container name will be Margis and public access. Okay, and here I will upload my information. So upload the content is of the data. So both. Let's upload both. Well, I will start with the brochures. So loading them. Now I will do the same for the reviews. Close. Good. So now let's work with the Azure Search service. We have our data already in the cloud. So I will refresh this. So here we have our search service. And let's start with the import data, which is here below. Yes, we have our 3 steps that we mentioned here. So the first one is about the data, okay? So import data. We select the data source. Here we have Azure SQL database, SQL Server on Azure VM, Cosmos DB, blob storage, even SharePoint Online, which was just pushed. So let's go to Azure Blob Storage. The data source name, we put something, let's call Margis data. Data to extract is content and metadata. Parsing mode default. The connection string, we should bring it. So, okay, let's open another one. Oh, actually, no. We can import it. We can write it, or we can choose an existing connection. So in this case, I will choose this one, SQLDay 2021 account, right? And I need to choose the container. I can even create it, but I have this one which already has all my data, right? And nothing about vault folder, nothing about the description. Okay, so I will, or maybe brochures and reviews, right? Now we will add cognitive skills. In the cognitive skills, right, well, it is validating. Okay, so here we are in step 2 now. For the cognitive skills, we select our cognitive service resource that we created before. Then we will add some enrichments. Let's change some name, Margis skillset. We will activate this. Enable OCR and merge all text in a content, merge content. So it will be possible to extract content from the images, okay? The merge content field is fine. The granularity is okay. Oh, sorry. Let's leave this one. And here in the check items, we will choose the following. We need to extract location names because it's important to know some places. We will extract key phrases, what is relevant for some reviews. Also the language, because maybe some of them are in English, Polish, Spanish, and so on. And we will also generate tags from images, okay, and captions. We can change the field name, right? That will appear later, but we will leave this. We'll validate, and now we can move to the next step, which is the creation of an index. So, yep. Now we change the name, let's say Margie's index. The key is metadata storage path, that is fine. No suggester. And here we add some fields. What we want to search in our indexer or index. So here we are going to include some members, right? So first of all, let's include metadata storage file size. Let's make it retrievable, filterable, and sortable, right? So we can sort, can order, we can filter by, that's the idea. These are the fields that we want to include, let's say, in our table, right? That is generated by cognitive search. Also, the last modified, the same characteristics. For the metadata storage name, we will do this, again, retrievable, filterable, sortable, and also searchable. Let's also include the author, metadata author, who created the review, for instance. So we can search by that. Also, it's face table because it can identify people. Then, for locations, key phrases, we will add the filterable. We can filter by location, by key phrases, and by language. So I think we are all set, right? So yeah, some of this information was already detected, okay, by the PDF files and so on. Now we create the indexer. We are close to finish this. So Margie's indexer. We can schedule how often we want our index to be created or recreated, actually, because maybe we want to add or we are adding files constantly. So we can create the indexer every hour or every day, or even with a custom frequency. But in this case, we set only once, only right now. And here in advanced options, we check that we have base 64 encode keys. So this is more efficient. Okay, so let's click on submit. And well, it will take some time, some minutes. It is now performing the steps that I mentioned in the presentation. We can see the progress by accessing the indexers section here. So here we see Margie's index, it's in progress. To this figure, yeah, you see it there. So yeah, we need to wait a few seconds. There is also a refresh button. Okay, it has finished. So now we can do some tests. We can go to Search Explorer. And the very first search is very simple. Let's add just an asterisk. Click on Search. And we will obtain JSON content. Let me increase this a bit so you can see. Yes. So here we have the content of some of the reviews, right? This is what is inside. And if we actually examine this, or let's say, let's choose one random review, right? So this is the information that was extracted from this file. Okay, it's taking some time. Yeah, so you see here. average place, great location, I stayed here twice last year, blah, 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 right? So all the reviews, maybe we have had this available as PDF files. Some of them might include some images, right? So now we can really search for information because it is indexed already, right? And here, well, we are obtaining everything, right? So all this, let's say, table is present now as JSON content. And it obtained, for instance, where was this review generated? Okay, in Dubai. Or maybe there is another one from where? From Las Vegas, USA, and other places, right? There are some key phrases on this text, such as Canal Hotel, Las Vegas, Great Spot, and others, which were extracted by the cognitive service. Let's try another query string. Okay, so let's say search is star and count equal to true. So now we know there is a field on bottom which is the all data count. How many items are here, right? So let me. Okay, so it is somewhere, right? Okay. Well, I cannot see it, but for data dot count. Okay, well, for some reason it didn't appear. So, well, I will try something else more relevant. So, scroll up. So, let's add something else. Let's say select, and here we add some fields, right? Meta data, storage, name, comma, meta data, author, and locations. So now for every result we obtain or we project only some fields, right? The file name, reviewer, and location. And for next items, the same. Let's try a last one. Okay, now let's say we want to search for not all, but only New York. So here, let's say search is New York, but this is a string. So search New York, and the rest is, instead of locations, let's say we want to know about the key phrases. Search. Okay, using a second. Probably I got some error. So search is New York. New space York. Sorry. So search. And yeah. So we see reviews where New York is mentioned. Right? So you see something about Manhattan, for instance, which was mentioned. And there will be some other results. This is a second one, which mentions Manhattan Hotel and others, okay? Central Park, Times Square, thorough review about Manhattan Hotel, and so on, right? So yeah. Now, let's go to this application, which I have here, right? Good. So I will open this modify search. There is this CMD file. I need the search URL I have available here on top. And this is my admin key. The admin key is available here. So I copy this one. And that's it. So I will modify the search because I will include now some cognitive skill, cognitive service skill. Okay. So I will run this one. So cd modify search, modify search. Okay, so this is lighting the skill set, right? So so it is rebuilding the indexer because we are adding some additional property, right? So we will see in the, if we go to overview, let's go to indexers, that it is currently working again. It says in progress, okay? So here I am adding another feature, right? We are adding or updating it, okay? So in the skill set, for instance, I will need this cognitive services key. So let's go to SQLDay. We are close to finish, okay? Cognitive and the key. So here I have the key. I will paste it. And okay, what else did I do? Okay, so hopefully it has finished. So let's go to SQLDay 2021 search. Let's say check the indexers. Sorry. And in indexer says success. So now let's perform a search. Let's go to Search Explorer. And I will write this. Search is London. And select URL, sentiment, and key phrases, but only from reviews. So I will add a filter. Filter is metadata author equivalent to reviewer. Let's see. Okay, I have an error because okay, there is no URL. Okay, so I will remove it. Yeah, it also has sentiment. Okay, so I have some take here. Probably it was not updated. So I will just try another time, or I can also just launch the Visual Studio application. This is the last step. So quickly. Let me open this application. Predictor solution. And okay. So I need just to add one SDK and change some value in app settings. And we will show this web application that search for information inside the search. Okay. So here in app settings, well, I will try to open it here in code. So in app settings, I have my search endpoint. So the search endpoint, we have it here. Okay. And the API key, it's here. So I will just cd, okay, here. I will add package, which is Azure Search Documents version 11.1.1. And we will run this application. .NET run. And yeah, this will be the last view. So you can, we will finish this. Sorry that it took some. Is there any question in the meantime? If while it is running, please, you can open your mic. If is there any question? So, okay, it says that now it's available. So let's open the host 5000. Yes. So here we will see some results. Let's search for London, right? And we should obtain. Yeah. Okay. I got error because it didn't. It didn't get the URL for some reason process. Okay, I will. Sorry that it didn't work, but here in the content, I will check what happened. But basically, it is looking for information using this search. We have the pages, we have the search, right, where it looks for the content that we submit in this document. We connect to the search client, right, and we submit the search the query, right. So we add the fields. Okay, I can maybe remove this one and the sentiment just so it works. Right, so very quickly. But and here we have some filters similarly to what we had previously. So, okay, it doesn't work. I will finish this part. In the meantime, okay, yeah, so it's the local host. So let's try again, London. Okay, so yeah. So you see also the results, right? Similar to what we got in the portal, but now with an interface, okay? So we get some reviews and some information. The sentiment, of course, we didn't implement it, but okay. Some text, some reviews by these authors, good value, some key phrases, in what language was this review, and so on. So at least we cover some purpose. Okay, so that will be all from me. Thank you for your patience. And well, let's just finish this part. Thank you very much. Thank you. So if you would like to follow up, there is a call to action. There are some links that you can follow in Microsoft Learn, the documentation. And feel free to reach out. Here you have my contact details, my email, my blog, and also some other resources from me. Please, if there is any question, we can follow up maybe in another place, because the next speaker is already here and maybe he wants to arrange everything for the next session. So thank you very much for your time.